For many people, fond memories of school lunch are few and far between. But here in the Jefferson City Public Schools, where on average 10,000 meals are served daily, it's a whole new ballgame, and a complex one at that. Our food service department is known for tasty, healthy food served with a friendly smile.
The most important thing to keep in mind is that when we're serving a breakfast or a lunch, we want that breakfast or lunch to be reimbursable because we receive money to produce that lunch from USDA, from the federal government. So every breakfast and every lunch needs to be planned to fit the meal pattern for a reimbursable lunch. And that is 4 components at breakfast, 5 components at lunch.
But it doesn't stop there. After thinking about those meal pattern components, a main dish, a bread item, a fruit, vegetable, and milk, for example, at lunch, Terry and her crew have to factor into the meal planning the monthly shipments of commodity foods provided free from the federal government, like cheese and new high-quality meats and produce. That month's menu needs to use up those commodities to make room for the next month's shipment. The delivery times of our other purchased food items, as well as the colors that will be on the tray, all factor into a given month's menu. The great food service managers and staff in our buildings take that all in stride and are able to get creative in the kitchen, developing recipes and cooking from scratch more than you would imagine. At a cost of less than $2.50, our students are chowing down on things like stuffed peppers, Chinese dishes with homemade sauces, and even gumbo. The master behind that now wildly popular gumbo dish at Lewis and Clark Middle School is food service manager Tammy Weddington.
The first time we served it, they kind of had this look in their eye like, I'm not sure. The next time we served it, you had those that was taking it and their friends were not sure. Then the third time they were like, oh, that was good.
Starting last year, students are required to have at least one fruit or vegetable on their lunch tray. A new federal rule that begins next school year will require students to have a serving of fruit on the breakfast tray as well. But these offerings aren't new to our students. We've been on the cutting edge of offering fresh produce for years, and most students are allowed to take as much as they'd like for the regular menu price. And while you might initially think that these are tough rules for some kids to stomach, Terry says you'd be surprised. She says variety is the key.
Every day we want to see in the elementary schools four types of fruits and vegetables, and one of them needs to be fresh. And that's the way we're going to operate. The more choices you have, the more kids you're going to appeal to.
And because the number of students qualifying for a free or reduced price lunch has grown so much, now at just over 50% of our students, offering nutritional meals at school is a responsibility most of these ladies don't take lightly.
There's a lot of kids that go home and they might not get a meal. So to feed them here is very important.
It's not just breakfast, it's not just lunch, it's a learning experience.